Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we have the Oceanic 5v5 League. I'm assuming that is what this is. We're going to have a few series of matches tonight. I'm joined by Frank and Dusty. Gentlemen, why don't you introduce yourselves?
You go, Dusty.
You go first, Frank.
Okay. Well, I'm Frank. I'm a player from EU, and I'll be casting with Wiz and Dusty.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm Dusty Tretch, and I used to play Shift Comp back in 2013, and now I just sort of do casting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Very well. Reconfirmation that it is a tournament. My mistake. The Oceanic Tournament featuring 13 prominent Oceanic region teams. We do have CQ. I don't know a lot about the region, but I was told beforehand that CQ probably the best Australian team. Ape, haven't heard of them, but given their name, I would probably give my favor to them. With a name like that, I mean, you name yourself Team Ape, especially in a game like Mordhau, you can accomplish great things.
Pretty fun name.
I know about 3 players in this entire game, and that's Yadrello, because I see him in the Twitch chat. Jangle, obviously, an old Shiv player. Nacho as well, old Shiv player. I don't know Printer, Gander, or Good Evening.
I think I know Good Evening. I know Nacho as well, as you mentioned, Frank. He's a older player. Both teams spawning in now. We're gonna get started. Ape is running 5 spears. 5 spears. They're running 5 spears.
That is interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that. Meanwhile, CQ, they have 2 greatswords and 3 halberds. That's a bit more standard. Gage's gonna start. It's really spread out. They're kind of just fighting in a line. CQ is getting a lot of early damage, a lot of early picks. There's 2 picks right there. Smog and Yadrella going down.
I'm not too sure about this all spear team. They seem to have got surrounded, and they managed to close in on them quite well.
Yeah, that was, I'm not sure, like, if you're fighting with spears, if you want to be spread out like that.
Oh, 5 moles coming out now, though.
5 moles, so I take it perhaps they've admitted defeat and they're having a bit of fun with this match, is my interpretation.
I mean, this could be interesting. We could see the front line go down really fast for this.
Yeah, oh, Printer gets picked though. Oh,
the model throw.
Dally swag is fun hit.
Starting
that was impressive.
It looks like
he's in flush rune. Smog goes down. Yeah, Scallywag, that was impressive. He was able to get the 2 with the 1 swing there. That is what you look for on the mall. Going for those big impact plays, but the problem is the rest of his team just died instantly.
Apes have now added a War Axe and a Rapier and triple mole.
They are going up on top of the, what would you call this? The treehouse, I guess.
So they have like a set progression, it seems like.
They are war crying quite a bit too. Cons are going in on the side, taking a big damage. Jangle and Printer get picked off. Ape doing well. Who's this Halberd though? He's living. Good evening, living for so long. Down to a 2v2. Orangutan not able to find anything despite being in flesh rune.
Nacho's popping off, it seems. Hasn't died once yet.
Yeah, is Nacho playing Halberd, or is he playing one of the greatswords?
He is
great sword.
Yeah, he's a greatsword.
Yeah, which is impressive, as you would typically see the halberd players kind of top scoring.
Nacho's going in aggressive on 2 of them.
And Nacho engaging on that left side. There's a 1v1 going off to the side, but in the main fight, Consor gets that early pick. Yedrel taking down Printer. Nacho trades it back with 2 picks. Now it's down to a 1v1 on the side over here between Nacho and Consor.
Now it's
versus the greatsword. He needs to live for his teammate. Oh.
Wasn't quite able to pull off the 1v2.
Nacho getting pinned up against the wall. Not able to really do anything in that position.
We got some chat copy pastas coming up.
Yep, Ape together strong. That seems to be the team motto going into the match here.
I quite like Ape strategies.
Oh, Firepot coming out from the Apes. They're spread again. Yedrella getting that early pick onto Jangle. Yeah, Printer trades it back though. Ganda getting that halberd pick onto Scallywag.
Very well played by Nacho, being able to fend off 3 people at once while his team can close in on everyone else.
Absolutely. Can Smog do anything here? Oh, he gets the kill, but unfortunately there's 3 other CQ members alive. So, but yeah, it is interesting to note that Nacho kind of just goes in at the beginning of these rounds, and he's just kind of tanking 2 or 3 people at a time, which is doing a lot. So despite Ape getting these early picks with the mauls, it's kind of mitigated by Nacho living for so long.
Looks like there's even been a team kill on the side of Ape. Nacho though isn't quite able to do what he was doing before and gets taken out quite quickly.
Yeah, it's a bit different that time. Ape picking up 2 kills early in the round here, but the problem is, can they just close it out? And yes, they can. Down to a 4v1. Smog gonna finish off good evening. So that's the big thing that we've been seeing from Ape, is that they've actually been getting the early picks. It's just that these rounds that they've been losing, they're not able to close it out. But as you said there, Dusty, like when Nacho isn't able to do what he's been doing, it doesn't work out as well for CQ.
He seems to be playing a bit more careful now. He doesn't want to get off get picked up so quickly. Oh, but he takes on 2 of them perfectly here.
It's kind of chaotic though right now. CQ, they're okay. It's a 4v1, but for a second there, it was looking like CQ. Perhaps, I mean, a few of them were kind of one hit, so anything could have happened there. I think CQ was just quicker to switch on to some of those kills. Frank, I don't know. What do you think about what Ape is doing at this point? Are you noticing anything? What should they be doing? Because they are down 3 rounds.
They keep switching weapons all the time. I don't really know why they don't just stick with something just a little longer than 1 round. And they kind of just go into the fight pretty messy too. Like CQ kind of in a line, and then Ape's just kind of like, you know, you have like 3 spitters just run at one greatsword guy, and he'll just stay alive, and then the rest of the team will just lose.
What was interesting about that round right there is how CQ, they just sent 2 people to go around the tree. They ran at 1 guy and they just 2v1'd him. And the rest of the team, who was presumably in a 3 versus 4, actually just lived and were able to get a pick. So it seems like it's just a mechanical advantage at this point. You see it again. Look at Good Evening wrapping around the tree. It's only a 1v1 this time. Multiple skirmishes breaking out. Scallywag getting the pick onto Printer. Jangle getting Gedrello. Conzor killing Ganda. He's coming in. What can he do with the War Axe? Gets a hit onto the halberd. Good Evening wins his 1v1. He's coming in. Is Conzor going to notice? He gets disarmed. And he's in flesh wound. First round goes to CQ. Nacho big. 18 and 2. Huge. Humongous
7
score.
assists as well. He was involved in 25 kills in a 7-2 game.
25, right? Out of
25.
Out of 35. Did
Someone,
someone run the math on that?
it's 9 times 5.
Is
so,
it?
why can't we do math?
Oh wait. Okay, it's just it was a high KP. All right, he had a really high KP.
I mean,
really
it
impressive.
would be an understatement to say that Nacho was like pivotal then. Like almost every single round, it seemed whether he was able to do things meant the round was won or lost.
Right. Well, you know, going on to Taiga here for the second map, I think this is where Apes can strive, because, you know, Taiga, a map that isn't maybe as friendly to just the pure melee skirmish, but that's what they're doing here, pure melee, fighting in a line, various skirmishes.
Side of Ape here.
Skyway getting the pick. Conzor also getting Ganda, but CQ trades it back. It's a 3v2 right now. Do they see Good Evening? He's coming in the back. Someone needs to call it out. He gets orangutan. I mispronounced that. I'm really dumb, but Good Evening. They needed to call that out.
Yeah, but I do kind of like the like team setup a bit more now. I mean, I still wouldn't say it's ideal, but I kind of like the greatswords. You can just kind of go in and create space. Then the mauls can like kind of go around, do what they want.
Firepot coming out. That's not going to do a whole lot, but that halberd might step into it. Gonna getting the early pick. CQ picking up 1, 2, 3. early picks. Now it's down to a 5v1. What can this Morax do? Absolutely nothing. Just gets stabbed by a halberd.
Nacho not having the same sort of impact with the Bardi share. Obviously it's quite early on, but seems like other people seem to be taking over a bit.
I think there's less naked loadouts now on apes, so the Bardish is kind of like.
Yeah, it feels like the apes are slowly kind of playing normal loadouts. I don't know if you get that impression, Frank, but it feels like they're slowly.
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Like if the two spies switch to like greatsword and like, you know, maybe a couple of them all switch to maybe like an evening start, then yeah, I would say we're basically playing like real loadouts.
Right. And these rounds are pretty close. I mean, that round, for instance, CQ, most of them were pretty low on health. Like most of them are one hit to kill. So even though that was like a 5-0 and none of them died, it was actually a lot closer than it may have seemed.
CQ pretty much only have pole arms here, or spears, long range weapons.
Look at CQ though, they're getting pinned up against this kind of shack here, but Nacho able to get around the side. Printer also picking up one. CQ just wiping the floor with the ape squad. Again, look at this. 5 versus 1. 5-0. Clean for CQ, but look at CQ members. Most of them are one hit to kill. What can you do if you're ape at this point? All these rounds are so close. Is it just mechanical difference? Is there maybe some better movement that they could be doing as a team?
CQ are sticking to the same weapons that I think they're comfortable on. I'm not sure if it's that good constant switching like Ape have been doing.
Yeah, fair point. CQ, again, seeming to take this round, but it is a 3v2. Who do we have over here in the 1v2? Or 1v1 Consort in the 1v1. He has to win this quickly. Loses it. Now it's down to the 1v2. What can Yadrella do here? He's getting fainted. Nacho takes him down with the Bardiche.
Yeah, I think like the moles, they keep finding like 1v1s, they can't actually find like backs. So they just end up in a 1v1 and Maul is just a worse evening star then. Like you need like a sidearm, like an arming sword or something. I don't think you can really just like deal with it against like a halberd or a bardiche.
They need to pin them up against this wall. You see how they just let them walk out like that? Yeah. Look at CQ now. Now they're switching freely. They're getting these big damaging swings out. It's only a matter of time before the ape squad starts dying. There goes Smog. There goes Consort. There goes Scallywag. They're just dropping like flies because CQ is able to get through it. Now they're just kicking him to death in the tent. 5-0 again. It seems like CQ hasn't died.
I don't think Ape are able to get off the quick pick-offs and kills at the start of the round here because the way they meet seems to be a lot more like 5-on-5 in a line. Like the other map, it seemed like they just surround them a bit more. Like here it's a bit more claustrophobic.
Oh look, they've got a flanker, but they're not waiting. They're engaging. Oh, here comes a flanker. Oh, gets Conda. It gets another one. Gets good eating. Scallywag popping off at the side.
Yeah, they just managed to get the quick kills in there.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Team killing twice though from the side of the ape squad. Well, they tried the flank and it worked out, Dusty. The apes they managed one round at least. Let's see if they can repeat that success. They've got 6 rounds to go, but who knows?
Either win within like the first few seconds of the engagement.
Firepot coming out a bit late. That's not going to do a whole lot. Pritchard gets the early pick onto Consort. Now they're just switching back and forth. What can Smog do in the 1v2 against the Halberd? The Halberd's one hit to kill. Printer coming in on the side. Oh, sick parry. Not able to make anything of it. CQ just cleaning up now. It is a... Oh, Scallywag with the pick onto Printer. The 1v3, what can he do? Absolutely nothing. Goes down to Jangle. Well played. CQ takes the match. Or does he go to another map?
I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it's best of 3.
I think it's best of 3 though, yeah.
That would make sense. So up next we have Conquest and Chimp are the team names. Is Chimp Ape? Is that the same team?
Are they like the B team or something? or the A team? Hold on.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, I think Ape would be the main team if it was. It's
Oh,
B team.
Chimp is the B team. Okay.
But
Yeah.
chimps are smarter than apes, though, so maybe they'll like, will
Ah.
Yeah, but
go
in
for
this
more
genre of
advanced weapon
games,
setups, like rather than just relying on all going the same thing, or constantly changing.
in this genre of game, though, I think you want to be an ape.
Right. Oh, okay. So yeah, CQ is Conquest Red. Okay. Is Trix on a team? Does anyone know? Does he play like competitively?
I don't know. I know he hosted a tournament, so he didn't play in that one. I don't know if he's on a team or not.
Well, based off of what I saw from CQ, their melee seems really good. Nacho especially popping off. Not so much in that second map, but nonetheless a good performance all around. Good evening, another notable player. I expect if this is the Apes B team, the Chimps, I expect it'll be an even bigger slaughter. But I suppose we'll have to see. Tourney being a bit of a different map, I'd like to see the Apes maybe go inside. You know, that's something back in North America where, you know, if for those of you that remember the Legion versus Tempest match, if you go inside, it's pretty favorable if you know your melee
It looks like
attack.
we're swapping server here, since this one's full.
Right, okay. Yeah, what I noticed too, speaking of servers, is if you look at these Aussie players, I mean, look at their pings. Like Nacho, 16 ping, he's blessed.
Does Australia have really good internet?
No, they have really bad internet, but I guess I don't know. Nacho is just paid for the premium package, I guess. So yeah, we will be switching servers here. Frank, could you let me know when you join so I can join off of you?
Okay, I found it. I'll tell you when I'm in.
All right. So Frank, maybe as a point of discussion while we're just kind of waiting here, what's your take on how these Aussie players play? You know, like compared to what we see in NA, compared to what we see in EU. What is it different? In what ways is it different? Is it better? Because to me, it looks like they're probably closer to EU than they are to NA in terms of how they're playing stylistically.
Yeah, I'd agree. Um, I don't really know. I guess it's hard to see like the actual overall player skill because we're kind of just watching like a 7-2 and a 7-1. So you can join
Right.
off me by the way. I don't know. I guess in a closer game, you'd probably be able to tell more easily
If
what it's
some
like
You're on your
1v1s break
Smurf.
out, maybe it'll be easier to tell like the playstyles. There hasn't been many extended 1v1s or 2v2s so far.
Right. I mean, there's been a few instances of some 1v2, some 1v3s with Nacho kind of showing off how good he is in those situations. But other than that, it's a very kind of limited glimpse at the overall individual skill of the region, I would say.
He's a very ballsy player, which is fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to see that kind of play. All right, well, the players are loading into the server slowly. I guess my question is, are we going to see any kind of unique strats? Because I feel like so often that's what some of the, you know, if you're a team and you kind of understand that, hey, we're not so great mechanically or we're kind of outclassed versus this team. I mean, at what point do you decide, hey, let's go inside, let's go do some door cheese, lay some bear traps down, you know? Are we going to see something like that?
I don't
I
think
hope
we
so.
will. Just based off the last game, like if the main team are happy to just run at the enemy and like, just take the fight without even like much of like an overarching strat as well, they kind of just ran in, and if 3 people are hitting the same guy, then 3 people are hitting the same guy. Then I'm pretty sure, I don't think the B team would be any different, or at least I would assume they wouldn't. But I don't know, we might see something.
Yeah, I guess it depends because like our academy team in North America, for example, Tempest Academy, are much more creative in terms of their strategy. You know, where mainline's just kind of running at people because we have the sheer melee prowess. The academy team has a lot of strats. They do a lot of unconventional stuff. So I don't know. It could be the case here. We'll have to see.
Do you think the American teams are probably the most rigidly organized? Like how they kind of do 5v5s and stuff like that? Like, I mostly see Korean
I would say
European
so.
Same.
I would say so. And not necessarily that that's better or worse. There's no real way to tell until some kind of LAN event happens. But in terms of, you know, if you put it like that, I would have to agree.
I think there's something in the more like, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of EU teams, people just kind of get a feel for each other and where they move and stuff like that. Like, not too much like calling out, oh, we stay in this formation or attack this guy or whatever. People just sort of feel it out.
Well, I've always said that also I think people like to, they kind of like model their team like, I guess 80% off of Tempest. And then that 20% is like their own identity.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a fair assessment. You know, it's interesting though because a lot of the NA teams, at least from what I've seen, is that when they're not scrimming us, they're not as rigid. They don't really keep the formations per se. But when they do scrim against us, they do, and that's just something interesting I've noticed in NA.
Has any team played against you that doesn't keep a formation that have done like fairly well at all?
No.
Okay.
Well, because like I said, most of the teams just end up going into formation when they fight us. So, but anyhow, that's NA, that's EU. We're getting into the match here. CQ versus the Chimps. Starting off the round with a lot of switching so far. Printer getting the early pick once again on that longsword. Took on that ball. Able to straight back on Nacho.
Oh.
There's a one at the very back of the map that
Wow.
Ovo just won.
2K, however you say his name, getting 3 crucial kills that round, picking up Nacho early on, finishing off Jangle and Printer later on. Doing big work with that maul, getting 3 frags. Absolutely huge. In terms of the weapon compositions, the Chimps kind of doing what their A team was doing. Split up fight again, it's one big line. Not too much switching going on. A few members are Fleshman and CQ taking this round decisively. 1v4, what can the Warx do? Trax goes down.
They're not as regimented in their copy pastas either, it seems.
That's true, the B team copy pastas are a little bit lacking.
Yeah, they're a little freestyling. Like, you know, it's kind of like hit or miss, whether the freestyle is good or not.
Yeah, look at CQ though. I feel like they're using default loadouts.
Yeah, got the default Zwei, default evening star, default longsword, and default spear coming out.
2K with that halberd, switched off of the maul. Ain't 2 picks so far in this round. It is a 4v3, right? As I say that, it swaps. It's now a 2v3, 1v3. Oh my god.
The Chimps aren't committing enough to just killing one person.
What was that? The Chimps, they had like a 2-person lead and then they just died.
Oh, these are the Chimps.
Oh, these are the apes. Our mistake. We were misinformed by one Mr. Oscop, but that's okay. Into the round, back again. CQ getting 3 picks, winning this round decisively. Very confident, choosing to use these default loadouts. They just wipe the floor with the apes.
We're getting some mixed signals. Oskov is informing us that these are chimp guys.
Well,
let's just call them apes.
You know what? Apes, chimps, it doesn't matter. Because we're here watching CQ and the apes go at it in this 5v5. It's a little bit explosive, I would say, so far. These teams, they just look at them. They just go in. Look at Melee. Got instantly in. Gets speared in the back. But 2K with the halberd. Able to take out Gonda. Jangle able to trade it back. Nacho getting a kill on Povo Tovo. 2K now in the 1v2. What can he do on the halberd? He's getting stabbed. Just dies. Wow. Cowering at the end there.
Yeah, these rounds are over very quickly. Like, they start off, they look like it's gonna go kind of even, and then everyone just starts dropping.
Yeah, it's, well, look at them now. They're going inside. So this is what we were kind of talking about earlier, right? They're now going inside.
They're gonna go out, though, by the looks of it. Yep.
They're gonna go out. Is this favorable, though? We have one vaulting up. The engagement starts, gets some early damage onto Printer. Printer's in like a 3v1. Can he survive? He's splitting up into the 1v1. Multiple skirmishes going on. Ganda gets off Povo Tovo. Trax gets Printer with the maul. But CQ is able to clean things up. Only losing one man. So, the map is a best of 3, but apparently the teams have decided to play out the 3rd map. And so that is what we're seeing. So it still is Apes versus CQ. This would just be the 3rd map. But CQ have already won the match. Starting off again, explosive engagement. Look at this line though. It's just a line engagement. Good evening getting the early pick onto 2K. Getting Povo Tovo as well. And Nacho. Nice longsword play there. CQ wipes 5-0, not losing a single member. At this point, gentlemen, I think Apes must just be playing for fun. I mean, that's kind of what it looked like from the beginning, but at this point, if you're getting beaten this badly, you can't be taking it too seriously, especially with kind of the loadouts that they're choosing.
I don't really know why they don't try something more standard though. Like, it just seems like everyone just picked the weapon.
Yeah, I guess they just want to have fun. That'd be my guess. CQ again though, convincing in this round. It's now a 4v1. Bill's probably not gonna be able to do a whole lot here. Just gets stabbed by Jangle in the buttocks.
Like with how Apes were playing as well. Like, can you imagine just putting like 2 of them on Executioner sword?
You know what? I think yeah, you're right, because if we think back to Taiga, that second deciding map. You know, think about all those rounds where multiple CQ members were on 1 hit. They were 1 hit to kill, and you know, generally that's either a lack of execution or just lack of damage. And so I think you're right, Frank. Like executioner sword definitely, probably should have seen some more swaps. You know, I would have liked to see some more damaging weapons. You know, of course they had the mauls, but again, we already kind of talked about the deficit that you suffer when using the maul. You can't reach anything. It's kind of a worse.
And if you find a 1v1, you basically lose it. Like, you don't really win.
Right. Yeah. Maul not favorable, not something you want in the 1v1. And with that being said, even in the team fight itself, it can be tricky. All right. Correction for the viewers. So these are in fact the chimps. The casters were correct all along. It was the cameraman and the organizer who were mistaken. They just wanted to be called the apes. But this is in fact the chimps. So we are on map 2 here. The apes, or rather the chimps, opting for an archer. Again, we see a spread out engagement. It's just duels going on mostly. 2K gonna team kill Trax. I don't know what that was. A little bit questionable. 2K now in a 1v2 against this heavy hand axe and the bastard sword. Not gonna be able to do a whole lot. Meanwhile, over here we have Bill in the 1v2. He's not gonna be able to accomplish too much. Goes down to the spear of Ganda. At least they're trying something, right, guys? Like at least the chimps, or I guess the apes, whatever they want to be called. At least they're on archer now. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough. It's map 2 here. It's the best out of 3. They've got to make something happen.
Got naked Zweihander.
Naked Zweihander coming out from Jangle. What can he get done here? Gets Bill. He's gonna get 2K as well. Good evening, picking up Trax. Another decisive round for Conquest Red. Well done.
The archer would probably be pretty good against this, but they need to like take an actual position that isn't kind of just sitting in their spawn.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say, if they're gonna use archer, maybe they should consider going up that right side. But switching off of the archer, Chimp's gonna go back to that melee formation. Povo Tovo kind of AFK off to the side here. Look at CQ though. Look at how spread up they are. just kind of split fights going on, duels going on. Tovo getting big damage.
CQ aren't paying as much attention to how they're entering these fights anymore. I think they're just pretty confident now.
Right. Why do you think that is, Jesse? You think they're just confident at this point? They don't care, or is that something we would normally
I think
see?
it's different because mostly I know American teams don't seem to break like their strategies if they're doing well. Where it seems like maybe they want to have a bit of fun here with naked Zweihands.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here
Oh,
comes
and a
CQ rushing in from the back. Track's going down early. 2K trading with the ball onto Good Evening. Django with that naked Y-hander. He's doing a lot. He's getting behind the Chimps. Can he finish things off? Yes, they can. Nacho getting the final kill there onto Bill. Another convincing round by CQ.
These split up fights aren't even like bad for the naked loadouts because you can basically just like run around and you can just switch from target to target and nothing will be able to actually chase you to like stop you doing it because you'll just be faster while you're lunging in combo with naked.
Right, it's not even that bad of an idea. It's bad though when he gets caught in the middle like this, but luckily for him, Melee got just running in without a real plan. Now Django's free to switch around on that Zweihander, picks up another one. Now he's gonna switch to the other side of the fight, picks up a third one, really showing the power of that naked Zweihander. The speed, Frank, the speed is really what you gotta look out for with that naked Zweihander. It might seem like a meme, but it's definitely, it's something that you gotta look out for.
Agreed.
A naked wall is definitely strong, I think, just so you can run around the back. And
Right.
Similar sort of thing.
Melee got getting an early hit onto the spear of Ganda. Unfortunately, his team isn't there to capitalize. Gets
Naked's
Nacho
right
though.
2v1, but he's actually survived it and now he's been left in a 1v1 and this guy probably has low stamina. Yep, the naked Zweihander's winning.
CQ taking a while on that 1 versus 2. This round still could be anyone's. Printer, as you see, trading that back on the bill hook.
Oh,
Django getting a nice pick as well. It's down
Yeah,
to the
1v1
1v1. Here's Trax's one hit. Printer has a little more health. He's on the bill hook. Bill hook versus Messer. Nice overhit. He's gonna combo it. Early parry. What was that, Trax? He just goes down. What was that?
No way!
Did he? What happened there, Frank? Did he just? Did he fat finger it? What happened?
not really sure. It's sometimes hard to tell too because the ping. Like, I don't know like how early he parried. I can't really tell.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
It was pretty like, yeah,
Well,
janky.
6-0 here, but Melee got getting the early pick. 6-0 for CQ. This is the Chimp's last attempt. They kind of put around the board. Melee got team killing Bill. Oh, you know he does it again. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Now he's in a 1v3. It's the only chance he has. Goes down to Printer. Oh, you hate to see it. He got that early pick. He was doing so well, and then he just bashed two of his teammates right in the back of the head.
Second one, yep, 100 damage. It was off of a switch. He blind switched to try and help his teammate, and he just gave him 100 damage.
Unfortunate series of events there for the Chimps. That's going to be the match. CQ taking the match decisively. As we predicted, a little more decisively than versus the Chimps main lineup, or the Apes, excuse me. The Chimps not able to do as much. And then the next match is only fitting, of course. We have the Apes versus the Chimps. And this one will probably be a bit more interesting.
And the Chimps, I think, are still going to be called Apes, so this is going to be a tough one, considering we don't actually
Right.
know the players very well.
I think the first Apes team I'm going to give the edge to here. It just seems...
So, yeah, so we have Chimps on blue, and the actual Apes are on the red team.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm curious, are they going to be running the kind of same loadouts, or are they going to maybe play a little bit more seriously? I mean, maybe
We've got an archer on the
they do-
Chimps team.
Oh, they do have an archer. Good point. That to me indicates that maybe they're looking to play a little more seriously. Because, I mean, the other thing too we have to consider is what if this is like serious for them? What if this is how they like play? But I have a feeling like it's not. Who does that? Who goes like naked maul or like no maul all of them? You know?
I don't really know. It doesn't seem like fully serious. Like, I mean, even if like you want to go naked something, like I still probably wouldn't want to go Mo. Like, you probably want to go like Evening Star or like maybe just a long weapon like the Zwei or a
Right.
halberd, even a spear. But it's like I don't know, the more, it's just an odd pick. I think it's always an odd pick to see in competitive.
Yeah, it's
I don't think you want to run more than one.
yeah, it's definitely it's kind of like opping in CS. It's really like you don't want 5 of them.
Yeah.
It's generally not a good idea to have
Five
of them.
spears though is a bit more viable, but
A bit
I-
more. I still questionable, but
It's still questionable because what will happen is 3 or 2, depending on how you start the fight, of your spears basically just become frontliners and they'll just be parrying the entire fight. They may as well just have a weapon that they can actually like cleave around with their strike.
yeah,
right.
like having two. I think 2 spears is like viable. But
Well, yeah, I mean, the point of spear is that you just want to play off of a teammate with it. Like, you don't want to, like, find a 1v1, because you're probably just going to lose it. You don't really want to just be, like, alone in, like, a 1v2 either, because, again, it's hard. Like, you need to have, like, a halberd if you want to do that.
Right.
Spear is, like, primarily a team weapon. It's probably, like, one of the most team-based weapons in the game, by far.
Well, speaking of spears, we've only got one that I can see, and that would be on the ape side, this red side. Who's running it? Scallywag on that spear. Getting into the match here.
Who are we
Chimps
gonna
are
see?
Up
up.
on the platform.
Who is-
Yadrella and Consor engaging on these stairs. They're getting a lot of damage off. Consor team kills Yadrella though. Consor in the 1v2 goes down. Can they make it? They have to win this fast on top on the treehouse, but they're not able to.
Oh,
It looks like Chimps probably win. Yeah, they're going to win this round. Unless we can get a 1v3 from Smug.
Oh, Smart, great parries. He actually has a really good position here. If you look at it, he's got the wall for his safety.
Oh!
Gets a hit onto Pomo Tomo. Gets a hit onto Melee God. He's wanted to kill. Why is the archer shooting him?
Why is he
Go
shooting
Melee!
him?
Go Melee! Go Melee! Oh, gets Melee God. Now he's running up the stairs. Trax, he's gonna fall out. Tries to no-scope him. What was that?
Okay, I mean, after seeing that, I guess this is probably just going to be another kind of like fun game. Nothing like too overly serious.
I think I'm not sure what that was. I mean, it was great to watch, but what if you're chimps there? Just win the round. Just 3v1. Why are you pulling out your archery weapon? Got some fights here on the treehouse. Apes get that early pick onto 2K. What are they going to be able to do with this though? See, the thing is on this treehouse is anything is possible. Consort picking up that second one. Melee got with the team kill again. This one's going to go to the Apes. Chimps down 0-2. Melee got with that -1 team killing again.
Some weird, considering both the teams seem to want to be fighting around the treehouse, especially on the stairs. I don't know why, like, there aren't more long weapons. Like, it's kind of hard to do a lot with, like, you know, these, like, great
Yeah,
swords, war
like they
axes,
need more spears, right? More spears, maybe even some
Yeah,
claws, halberd, you know? You're absolutely right. Oh, look at the flank. 2K on that flank. What's he going to be able to get here? Misses the first swing, gets the second one, but I wouldn't call that a great flank. He's going to get flanked himself. Oh, the team kill coming out. He's able to trade it back, though. Apes going to take this round. It's just Trax alive. Not going to be able to do anything with his fists out.
Smog is popping off, or you say aping out.
Yeah, he is aping out. It's very true. Alright, Chimps. They have switched off of the archer and they are going 5 mauls. So we're getting into the thick of things here. They're just gonna run straight in. Limited target switching because again, on that maul, what can you do with the T-Rex arms? Not a whole lot. Apes convincing around here. They're only gonna lose 1 member. They're just team killing. What? They're just team killing. What can Trax do? Nothing. He's got his fists out again. Why has he got his fists out? Last round and this round.
I'm not sure. I also saw, like, Bill got hit early on there in the fight, and then he just tried to switch and mauled his teammate in the back and died. Like, he's on 20 HP.
Chimps are team killing right out of the spawn. You know, this is what I expected, gentlemen, because honestly, the Aussies, what are they known for? Shit posting. And, you know, if you can't be shit posting on the Moorhell forums, do it in game. 5 mauls coming out here. Trax getting the pick. Melee got getting the pick. Looking like The
There's
Chimps
a big wraparound here from Smog though. They haven't seen. Oh wait. Oh,
one
he's
isn't
running
flush.
into-
2v4. Is it winnable? I don't really think so, but we've seen crazy. There's a team
Smog is doing
kill.
well though.
We got some more team infighting going on here.
Look at Smog. Smog, we've seen it before, but he's not able to pick up anything there. Really confusing scenes there as Chimps kind of just team killing each other. 4-1 in favor of the Apes, but if you look at the scoreboard, it would tell you otherwise. And that's really, I think, because the Apes have just been team killing each other a lot.
They don't want to have like a hierarchy as such. They just all want to be equal as
A
apes.
nice universal 0 kills in a 7-1 game.
We see Apes doing something a little bit different this round. They've switched up their weapon composition a little bit. They didn't have that Xe sword. Smog with the entry pick onto 2K. He's gonna go down immediately. Scallywag bopping his teammate back.
Smog is chasing.
He's in the
quite
1v1. He should look for the switch here though. Melee God is flesh wounded. He is gonna go down. Yedro. Or is it red yellow? What did I say?
Trax is
Yedro.
now in a 1v3.
Trax, what? I mean, he doesn't have the maul, right? So 1v4 actually, Franken. So I don't think, yeah, he's not gonna be able to do a whole lot. They're throwing the mauls at him. Smog fists him. Now they're teabagging him. Interesting things that we're seeing here. I mean, it is a big characteristic so far, considering I think we can fairly assess the style of both of these teams at this point. It's very much ape-ish, primitive, wild.
The question is, are other teams going to try and live up to this with their aim actually?
We shall see. Look at Melee God. Does he see the mole? No, he doesn't. Oh, what? Smog! No! Not like that, Smog. Team kill Scallywag. 2K's gonna team kill Bill though. It's now a 1v3. Not able to do anything. Cons are still with the spear. There's still one chimp alive though. Who is it? Hobo
Oh.
Tobo.
Has there been a sub there? Melee
Not
God
sure.
left us.
He just kind of came out of nowhere. I was shook.
Oh, we got some more team damage in the spawn on the
Yeah.
chimp side.
Interesting scenes here from
Oh,
the
we have
chimp
a
going
sub coming in, Lackery.
The chimp's going 4v5 now. Trax is only just entering. He's still not in the fight. He's walking to the fight. He actually walked.
Oh, he's just squatting. Trax. I hope the cameraman's getting this. Oh, Trax with the kick, able to secure that kill, doing lots of work there, squatting, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Gets more.
1v4, what can he do? Absolutely nothing. 7-1. Apes take the first map.
Orangutan and Smog, both top score for Apes.
Okay, here's the thing though. We're on grad now. And if there's ever a map that resembles a jungle, this would be it, gentlemen. This map would be it. So
I fully expect to see someone die from falling.
I expect it too. It's very likely here. You know, on this map, anything is possible. Crazy things can happen on this map. It is relatively small though, but you know, there's a lot of trees for these chimps to climb. There's a lot of fruit hanging around. There's just a lot of different.
Oh, we've got
potential
some bear traps on Yedvrello.
Yadrella taking bear trap. Okay, so probably we need to look out for those bear traps. Hopefully the cameraman can catch some of those. We'll have to see if they pull a Legion though and walk into their own bear traps.
Oh, they all go through the middle.
Yep, Apes again being on that left red side, Chimps being on the blue side. Gage is starting, it's very split. Bill getting the first pick onto that Scallywag. Smog returning it with a dagger. He's using a dagger. Smog using a dagger.
Attack!
Interesting choice of weaponry coming out from the Apes. Scallywag not able to do. They got the frying pan. Who's that on the frying pan? Smog, triple frying pan coming out.
He's already thrown 2. He's going into the
Reaper,
fight.
Buckler. Oh, he's doing work with the frying pan though. Gets team killed by Yadrella. And I'm baffled. This is what peak competitive gameplay looks like.
We have a crossbow coming out now. You don't see those two? I'm smug.
Oh, look at Smog
Blocking
just
his
blocking
entire
his entire just blocks his entire team. Is he aware of the person on his left? He is. He shoots him. That player is going to be down 40 health. Look at Povo Tovo on the side of the Chimps.
Oh god, the team.
Smog's been flanked, but he has a teammate with him.
Chimps are engaging this with a man down and still managing to go even, but now Skywag picking up 2. Chimps able to win that despite it being a 4v5 for them. I think it is Smog on that crossbow just doing a lot of work for the Chimp side, you know, basically forfeiting his life, saying, hey.
Smog blocking his team yet again in this
Yep. Missing all his shots so far. Missing another shot. That's a nice fire pot.
Coming out. That's a really
That's a nice fire pot. He's gonna tag up 2K for 40 health. He's gonna want to heal. But are they aware? Look at this player dropping down now. Just dies. Smog, I think, shooting him on the way down. You know, Frank, when you said there's gonna be a lot of people dying from falling, there's probably our first instance. I'm looking forward to more. Bodies falling off of
For a surprise attack.
Grad here. Konzor picking up 2 kills, one of which was his teammate. Smog gonna get that messer pick onto Trax. 3v1 for the Apes. They get that round. 2-2 though.
Does Smog have the meta on the loadout?
Attack!
Oh, yeah, he does.
He does, yes.
Oh,
Switching
he's
the
got
longbow now.
Longbow now.
Will he block his teammate? Most of them get out. Oh, he's spin botting a little bit. Okay, gets a tag. Oh, look at Bill. Look at the Chimps. They're missing 2 players. They're engaging a 3 versus 4. Oh, one falls off. There's another fall. That Track's going down. You hate to see it. Oh, Smog
just takes out Orangutan.
Orangutan just rudely shot by Smog.
Ooh, Smog's got a good position here, shooting into the room.
Povo Tovo somehow finding himself alone in the castle. Just gets mauled by Scallyswag. Scallyswag, by the way, probably my favorite player in this series, at least on the side of the Apes. He's put in a lot of work on that maul. He's stuck to the maul too. He's swapped the least out of any of the Apes players. He's gonna meet 2K down the tower here. That's gonna get fire pot off. Trax gets a pick with the longbow. That's good for the Chimps. Can they capitalize though?
Ooh, drop down from Orangutan there. He takes that one.
They're taking too long with the 1v2s. 2K from the back, absolutely massive. Picks up Yedrella and Konzor with that messer flank. That was huge. How did they not call
coming
that
up the
out?
ladder? What?
Somehow managed to make it into the dungeon. Interesting strategies there. 3-3. This map is definitely closer. I feel like I have no clue what's going on at any point in time. 2K just running in, getting picked. What? He just gets 1v3. Small game, Bill pick with this one-hander. Polo Toho, 2-4. Thor, he gets 4 picks, one of them being his teammate. Can he close out the round? He's in a 1v2. Archer, you need to go melee. Archer, you need to go melee. He's flesh wounded, I think. Oh, he gets shot by his teammate. Trax, no. He needs to go melee. Yedrella, he's regenning. Oh, he switches too late and he gets rapiered. Oh.
That was very brave by Trax.
Trax, come on, man. You just gotta switch to the melee. Why is he so adamant on sticking to that longbow? He's costing the Chimps many rounds here. They could be winning if he just pulled out that melee. He's getting these shots out though. Look at that shot to Scallywag. 2 shots. He's getting tagged up. Konzor with that pick on the main engagement over here. Borax on the bill. Trax team killing again. Team killing 2K. Smog Apes team killing. Everyone's team killing. It's just team kills. I don't know. Frank, what's going on? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
All I know is this is probably one of the most entertaining tournament games we've seen in a while.
Apes coming out on this left side, getting tagged up by Trax on that longbow. Trax doing so well when he's not shooting his team. But now the Chimps find themselves isolated. 2K's gonna go down here. Oh, he actually picks up Scallyswag. The Konzor and Smog are there for the trades. Oh, here goes Pomo Chobo from the castle. Here comes the flank. He's gonna miss it. Do they know that he's there? He almost misses the strike. It's down to a 1v1 between Smog and Povotovo in this castle. Up above, meanwhile, Konzor is pressuring Trax. Trax now in the 1v2. He's
Konzor is
melee.
on 7 HP.
This is favorable for Trax though. Oh, he tries to do the no scope. Smog not able to get. Look at Smog. He's going up the ladder. He's flexible. Konzor is flexible.
This is very winnable now.
It's winnable. It's winnable. Look at Smog on the ladder. Take out your weapon now. They're just gonna look at them. They're
I
just
guess
role
they're
playing.
both just gonna go for regen, and then. Oh no, he's not regenning now because he's
Oh,
shooting.
he's getting shot. Take out your melee weapon. Trax, go find him. Go get him. Smog being a little bit BM X4ing. Come at me, bro. Is what he's saying right now. He's just Trax is just letting him regen. Look at the agility that Trax has though. As a chimp, he's able to maneuver around the vines and the jungle trees so well. Smog though, look at him as well. Being an ape himself, is able to climb up onto the tree. Down to a 1v1. There's the feints coming out. The Morse, the kick lands, matching the kick. They're just kicking each other. Trax gets the hit. Oh, clean decapitation by Trax. Well done by him.
Yeah, without the headshot there, he doesn't kill as well. So that's pretty fortunate.
Yeah, good there to land that shot. Chimps in the lead, I think, for the first time. It is 5-4 in favor of the Chimps. You see tracked as usual position. Povotovo's getting 1v2 here. Meanwhile, other fights are going on. Yedrella gets the pick on a Povotovo, also gets 2k while he's at it. What?
Oh,
The chimp
someone's going
drops
down.
down.
He's alive, I think.
Whoa!
Oh no, he's not. He's dead.
They can't seem to ever kill two people without killing a teammate. It's like some ritualistic
Maybe they
thing.
feel like they need to sacrifice once they get a kill. Trax, you know, he's comfortable up here in the trees, but for how long? It's only a matter of time. It's a 3 versus 1. Here comes the ape. Cons, we're coming in. He doesn't even see him. He's now 1 hit to kill. It's not looking good for Trax. Gets a nice hit. Oh, nice try. 5-5. We have ourselves a close match.
Trax actually, if you look at the start of the round, he just instantly takes the branch like this.
Yeah, he does. Look at him. He's squatting on the branch.
He's having some rocks being thrown at him though.
Right. Oh, he's opting for the melee, but it's too late because his teammate 2K gets taken out by Smog, and then Trax goes down as well. Abe's picking up one after the other. Team kill Konzor. Team kills Smog. Team kills another. Wow.
Match point for
These
the,
kill feeds are very entertaining.
Very much so. You just see like a bunch of normal kills and then like 3 team kills in a row. Trax switched off of the archer. He's not going for that branch. Maybe trying to play this map a little more seriously. Povotovo on the 1v1, not the 1v2 up the stairs. He's got his teammates here though. Can they get anything? Meanwhile, Yedrell in the 1v1 against 2K. Smog is on the archer now though. Smog from the apes, he's shooting from above on the stairs. Skywag getting that pick on Lakari. Trax able to pick up Yedrell. Skywag getting Trax. Now a 1v3 for 2K, but he goes down. Apes take the map. GG.
fun game.
Very fun game to watch. Not at all what I expected. Very insightful. I'm definitely don't plan to play in the Oceanic region anytime soon, but with that being said, they played very well, all the teams. I think I was the most impressed with CQ. As far as entertainment value, definitely the Apes and the Chimps delivered on that end. And I'm
I
sure
mean,
the viewers at home
Honorable
enjoyed
mention to the Naked Zweihander that came out and some jump attacks and flanks they were doing towards the
Yeah,
end.
for sure. The Naked Zwei, you saw CQ pulling that out as well. Jangle on that Naked Zweihander, putting in a lot of work. Goonsack Warriors versus Saint Genesis. Okay, well, so we've got the
Saint
next
Genesis
match here coming up.
is on blue, and then Goonsack Warriors are on red. I don't know what the tag of that team is gonna look like. Maybe it's just GW, or I don't know. Could there be like an S in there?
Yeah, so we'll be seeing the Goonsack Warriors on the red and Saint Genesis on blue. That's gonna be interesting. Unfortunately, I have to go, and I'll leave you gentlemen to it. But it was a pleasure casting with you, Frank, and you, Dusty.
Oh,
man.
thank you.
Yeah, please enjoy these matches because if the chimps and apes were indicative of what is to come, then I'm sure you'll have a great time. But yeah, I'm Wizardish. Thanks for tuning in, guys. But of course, stick around. Frank and Dusty will carry you through this next match. Good night.
Thank you, Wizardish. See ya.
Okay.
Okay. Frank, do you know anyone on these two teams at all? Like, well,
Well,
I've only
we can
really
only
got.
see, we can only see one guy in game, and that's Salk. I guess we have Aztec too. I haven't heard of either of those. Um, I I don't think I'll know anyone in Goonsack Warriors.
No, I'm sure I've seen this SPQR tag somewhere, but no,
Well, the
wouldn't
Australian
be-
scene, or I guess the Oceanic scene, I should say, has grown a lot from Shiv. Because obviously in Shiv, we just had a lot lower player numbers in general. So, like, I think the scene probably grown a lot more. I mean, in Shiv, it was probably just 2 teams, I think, for the most part.
Hmm.
But obviously now we can have, like, basically an entire tournament.
I suppose Australia doesn't have a particularly large population to begin with, but it'd be interesting to see whether it expands to like, the other like like Southeast Asian like countries and stuff like that picking up the game. Right.
I think we're just waiting for Goonsack Warriors.
Yeah, I think so. I'm guessing it's on this server still.
Or are we doing a different game now?
Okay. Well, Frank is the like I know what's. Do you have any general takes on the new patch since it has been quite recent it's come out? And is there anything you've seen in this tournament that like is an adaptation to it? I suppose we haven't seen many super competitive games yet.
I would say this patch is probably more closer to the one we had before the smaller update that had the experimental stuff in, because now that most of that has been gotten rid of in the most recent patch, we're basically back to the old patch with some smaller improvements. I think it's still good overall. I think people are enjoying ranked a lot.
Is there any differences to team fighting at all that's come with like the changes that they've implemented?
I
sorry.
I mean, other than stabs being slower, not really. It should basically be more or less the exact same.
What are the timing changes again? It's like they
Stabs have had 25 ms wind up been put on all of them, and some early release too. So they generally just hit slower, which means you get a bit more time to see them when you're being switched to from the stab.
I suppose maybe there'll be less like really quick kills from pole arms and stuff like that at the start of rounds then. Like yeah, doing that, but yeah. Like probably fairly marginal, but still affect play maybe a bit.
So we now have St. Genesis are on red against SPQR Aquile. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They're on blue. Well, now Oskov is saying it's a different game.
Oh.
So we have SG, which is St. Genesis, and then SPQR. Contraband, Grad, and Camp are the maps.
Do you recognize any players now, Frank? Now that all of them are in, I suppose.
No, literally no one. These are all new players to me. Okay, yeah, so the Goon Squad match was delayed. Because they're slow. So we have the fight starting now. Kind of split up. There's one 1v1 taking place, and then most of the fight's been taken around pillar. First kill goes down to SPQR. Another kill from St. Genesis. We have
4v1
one
and
1v1 still
3v1
happening
now.
outside. That looked fairly standard. Apart from
Yeah,
one
fairly.
little 1v1 taking place. It was pretty close fight, kind of both teams death falling in a 4v4.
Oh, we've got Jangle here now.
Yes.
Hey there.
Hello, Jangle.
How's it going?
Oh, good,
Pretty good.
thanks.
We have a 3v3 and a 2v2 taking place. Kind of reminiscent of the first EU tournament. It looks like SPQR kind of just wiped them pretty quickly here. They just took the fight and
Looking
switched it
pretty
around.
Oh, Jangle, is there anything you can tell us about either of these two teams?
I'm just joining now. So once I get in, perhaps.
We got some throwables coming out from Hailstorm on SPQ. Fight's kind of split now, kind of just 1v1s.
Sort taking 1v1 on the edges and taking out Dad, but he then gets taken out by his Y-hander from behind. Oh, the RC-ting Assassin is taking out a lot here.
Yeah, RC-ting
popping
Assassin, triple kill with the Zweihander. Round's still not over though. Still have Aztec and Hailstorm alive.
There's still a shield guy in the corner, but he's going to get kicked to death. Just one left, and gets beheaded by a Messer. Yeah, RC-ting Assassin taking out a lot with the Zweihander, then a lot from, I think, behind and like kind of, switches and stuff. And we'll see if he's able to keep that momentum, sorry.
Looks like SPQR kind of just waiting now, letting the enemy team take the engagement day one. But it's kind of just all happening in the spawn now. It's slowly going backwards.
And they're fighting in these kind of narrow corridors, which is...
Yeah, so I can talk about these teams a bit if you guys want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'd be good, thanks.
Yeah, so as I understand it, SG, more of a like casual clan who just have a few members like interested in competitive. I think this team is kind of thrown together more or less. SPQR were sort of in the same boat, but last tournament actually had quite a surprisingly good performance. They came, I think, 3rd or 4th in the last 3v3 tournament that we had. But they're running quite a different lineup this time, so I'm not sure how they're going to do.
So
Is
kind
any-
of like
Winning this so far.
like the underdog favorites. SPQR.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay. Is any particular players on SPQR to look out for then?
I think Aztec did pretty well last tournament and is doing well at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, he's 7 for 1.
Fight's kind of now just always happening in different places.
Yeah,
So like we have
there's
fights taking place in the spawn, we have fights taking place by the fellas.
I thought the EU seemed chaotic compared to America, but I know the Australian teams, even top ones, seem to be content just taking fights anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, we haven't had like a whole lot of 5v5 practice since our last 2 tournaments with 3v3, so a lot of these lower ranked teams aren't used to like engaging cohesively. We're just gonna do it wherever.
So I don't really mind what's happening here. We have like 3 people pushing the middle, sort of, and then like the rest of the fight taking place on the smaller side of the pillar.
Oh, Aztec taking out 2 then. I like it. Oh, he's on his own now though.
There's not really much you can do here. Just have a
Yeah.
Zweihander and a greatsword stabbing you. And a guy with fists.
Playing very aggressive, SG. I think they're just trying to run forward through the middle.
Yeah, it looks like SPQR are kind of content to just let them push and take the fight they want. And I mean,
Aztec's being like sectioned off here, but he's in a 1v1.
The shielder boy, he's just holding Iron Beam, not dying.
he gets a kill.
Ooh.
There's still one more 1v1 taking place in the
Aztec is going to be stand by this axe.
yeah, Vorax stands him out.
Yeah, Aztec kind of panicked, I think, a bit then when he got taken out of the fight because he couldn't really cleave and get the people he wanted to then.
You don't really want to be away from your team with the Vorax. Kind of want to be like as close to the fight as possible.
He's switched to greatsword now, so maybe make it so he's okay being in a 1v1 a bit.
Yeah, the dad with the great sword getting the first kill for SG. The Zweihander on Aztec Assassin. He gets 2 kills actually, 3 kills.
Ooh. Oh, Aztec is on his own now again.
Yeah, it looks like any round where SG kind of can have Aztec Assassin do whatever he wants, he just kills everything. Like really high impact on the Zweihander. Again, SVQR just letting them take the fight they want, which is fine.
Yeah,
They have
no.
halberds and spears. They can kind
They're
of
getting-
control people as they come in. But the problem is I think they might be giving him a bit too much leeway here. Dad just coming in with a triple kill.
They got a bit clumped then. They kind of all looked at Aztec and Assassin and kind of ignored the rest of the team as they
nice
closed in.
coverage, nice.
Yeah, Aztec in the
Ooh,
1v4.
nice. Oh, he's doing very well. Oh, that was a really nice attempt. Looks like chat wants Jangle to talk a bit. Well, is there anything else? I suppose you can relate to like what you know about these teams to what's happening here. Is there any players on SG should be looking out for?
Not really, I don't actually really know many of those players. Like I said, I think their team is mostly like casual with a few people interested in comp, so I don't see them too often.
They seem to be doing
I don't scrim them ever.
well. They seem to have done pretty well for a casual team thrown together.
SG taking the first game 7-4.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really stood out necessarily. Like the scores are all very even across the team.
Yeah.
Obviously some big plays coming out from Mass-Eating Assassin though. Probably one to watch.
Yeah, he's quite a high level, so he's probably just like played a lot of frontline and knows how to target switch and deal with these larger engagements like some of these other players don't.
I think this was more of like a standard game. Obviously a little different from Chimps and Apes. The game was just purely chaotic.
Yeah.
This game, it seems like the teams are they're at least trying to approach the team fight in a specific way, at least somewhat.
It's still fun seeing how like organic and chaotic it is, but obviously a bit more controlled and like with maybe a bit more intention to where fights are taken.
Yeah, well, it seems like SPQR, they don't really mind too much. They kind of just let SG kind of like take the fight how they want. I still think they probably should push up. Like, it's not fun fighting by the pillar, but at the same time, like, you can organize yourself around the pillar well. Like, you could have 3 going through the middle, 2 on the right side, and you can kind of take the fight like that.
Yeah,
Especially on contraband.
once you get pushed back to spawn, there's even, you know, smaller spaces where you can get pushed into, so, you know, that's
Yeah,
not fun either.
and the enemy team don't actually have to go into those. They can just push you into them. So
Yeah.
you're actually just making it harder for yourself a lot of the time. I'm not really sure how Grad's going to go. Obviously, again, I don't think it's going to be anything like Chimps and Apes.
There was it did seem to be happening quite a bit then where at one point Aztec got pushed back all the way into his own spawn away from the team. I don't know how. I don't think when you're playing Halberd like he was, then you should be, you know, be able to be pushed back into your own spawn again. Oh, your team's taking a fight in the middle.
Come on, let's go!
Looks like we're ready to go. I think. Our seating assassin is just joining.
He should be joining now. I mean, he's in spec. Okay, yeah, we're ready.
Nice.
So we have SPQR on blue, FG on red still, on Grad.
Yeah,
Another fun map. Do you reckon they're gonna pull anything out here? Like, this map just seems quite good for these.
It's definitely a more chaotic map. Like even, I think between like any level of play, like low and high level play, I think Grad's a fairly chaotic map. I don't know, Django, how much would you say the Oceanic region plays Grad? Or if it does?
pretty much never as it is. When the game first came out, we used to play on Grad, but there was a team who would just camp on top of one of these towers with fire pots and shields. It's pretty cancer. So we kind of stopped playing Grad.
What maps would you say are most commonly played?
Contraband, Mountain Peak, and Tourney. Pretty much all
Okay.
we play. Camp sometimes.
Well, actually, it looks like this first fight's going to be fairly standard. They're just going to match at like the stairs, 5v5. It's going to be pretty chaotic.
Yeah, it's been kind of awkward spot up here. Don't have a huge amount of
Everyone's just walked into each other. On the first kill is a team kill from MP3. He does get a kill on the enemy team though.
Mez are just swinging. Missed like 3 times. I know, isn't it? It's a big one. Nice parry again.
I honestly prefer seeing fights happen there though, the 5v5, than when the teams just run into the middle and treat the map like it's a normal map and ignore
Yeah,
the
if you
rest.
I mean, if you look at the loadouts, I'm pretty sure both teams are probably just going to be content to do that. The spears can just stab all they want. Actually, it looks like SPQR are going down now into like the courtyard area.
So they're forcing them onto the stairs. I think they could have pushed up a bit then.
Yeah, they definitely could have pushed up with the shield as well, maybe. It's another pretty standard fight. Oh, again, MP3 with another team.
Aztecs managed to get behind the 2 of them. Yeah, this is looking good for SPQR now.
Yeah, MP3, like last round and this round, kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure like why, like what's actually happening, but keeps killing teammates. It's usually the first kill of the fight too.
Alright, now they're going through the middle.
Yeah, SG are just jumping down onto the stable. We have one guy still going down the stairs though, Forks.
Oh god, Aztec almost falling into the well in the middle there, dancing around it. Oh, I managed to get a really clutch kill. Wow.
Yeah, the well is, I've seen a few people go down the well already. For the most part, these fights look fairly standard.
I was hoping to maybe see at least the bear trap.
Yeah, I think if you're just content to fight in the courtyard though, not really much use of the bear trap.
Yeah.
We got the fight kind of breaking off into the tower now, and SPQR definitely used that opportunity well. They got 2 kills off of it, I think.
Look at this shield guy just holding R&B. This guy's
Yeah, he's gonna make it
Gonna be
really
annoying.
hard for the War Axe.
There.
Shield's actually throwing his cleaver away at the start of the fight. Some early damage.
Oh,
This fight
Aztec.
again looking pretty standard. MP3 with the first kill on Milky. Dad as well with the War Axe on South.
Oh, nice drag from Aztec.
now
And now he's
it's
got
3v3.
behind them with the double axe.
Yeah, I think having someone 1v1 the shield, probably not the best idea that SG could have, because really, probably just gonna lose it unless you pick an axe specifically to fight him.
Very, like, I know, very weapon choices though.
Yeah, I think we've been seeing that for the most part. Forks with a double kill, triple actually. 4
Nice kick from
SPQR
Aztec.
members just going down instantly that fight.
Yeah, you don't really see many teams in Australia stick to like meta weapon picks apart from maybe the top 2. Everyone else just kind of plays what they're comfortable with.
I suppose that makes sense. I guess it's not like the biggest scene, so you have a lot of like teams who are just happy to play.
Yeah.
Oh, and Aztec's just trying to get behind people, hit them, but it didn't seem to work out that round. It was quite a clean wipe.
Yeah, SG. The kill feed that round was really just SG only.
Yeah. SG does seem to have a lot of individual skill, but they don't always take the best engagements. But when they do, it seems to go very well.
Aztec going for the flank again, but he should have found a 1v2 now. I don't know how this is going to affect the rest of the fight. Dad was the first kill on the meta against.
Yeah,
evens it out with the rapier.
Aztec seems almost so desperate to get behind people that he's, taking
big
so long
hit
to
from
get any damage.
Yeah, that was a huge play from Dad.
Swing the mesa, probably wanting the shield. Oh, he's down.
He's now stopped
down.
playing the shield, yeah. He's doing okay
This
at
should
that.
be fairly straightforward now.
I'm not sure why he's switching to the shield. He should probably just only focus on the guy who has to parry. The shield's just never going to take damage.
I suppose if you're not used to 1v2, it's quite easy to panic and just be like, oh, shield guy, I need to hit him.
Yeah, the 1v2 against the shield, you probably just want to avoid it as much as you can and just try and get as many parries fed to you from it.
One of the
SG has the shield now though. I see an assassin going in straight away. He does take a hit for it, but it's fine.
Oh, Aztec taking out the shield, that was really not good there. You don't want to be dying that quickly with a shield.
Yeah, like look at SPQR's shield. He's only just gone down. He's had 2 people on in the entire fight, and now it's 3v2 in SPQR's favor.
Oh, they've got them quite well cornered here as well.
Oh, big switch.
Studio with the ball. It's a huge play. And he's going to get gunned back.
Wow.
Back.
This is going to be a hard one for Aztec. Can he... Oh, those feints. Just... Oh!
Oh,
Studio with
nice
3 kills
reason
there.
footwork there, but yeah, Studio clutched that round.
I think they just realized they couldn't take out Aztec too quickly, so they just clonked the guy with him.
This fight again looking for his standard. Aztec assassin with the first kill on Zwei. Dad the second, Aztec assassin with the second kill. Studio and MP3 also take down a player, and yeah, it's just a clean wipe again.
Yeah, game point for SG here.
Better than that. Oh, look at that one right there.
Very aggressive here from Aztec assassin, just running it.
Yeah, but against all the short weapons, like,
Oh, he gets knocked down though. Oh, that was... He was too hasty then. He kind of tried climbing up against someone and just got taken out.
Dad's
1v4 from Dad now.
So still, it's match point still for
SG.
SG, yeah. SPQR could bring it to like
You only need 2 rounds.
neutral match point. Oh, a maul switch from Aztec. Oh, he's ran into a big load of them.
Yeah, the shield is stopping this move from doing anything in the fight right now.
Oh, Aztec one shots down. It looks like SG is
he's
down.
MP3 gets knocked down the well by the Mo. That's the full damage.
Oh, can Aztec do the 1v2 hit?
Aztec
Oh,
assassin got the
That was a
double kill.
1v1.
You did it.
Oh, he does it.
That one's got a sting for specifically ass-eating assassin, considering he got a 3k that round again, but I don't know, they just couldn't play out the rest of the fight.
So, it's 6-6 now.
Sword just instantly.
Oh,
gets
Instant
it.
kill
Aztec.
Aztec.
Oh my god, he takes out 2.
Oh,
3.
Aztec's just swinging.
Jesus,
And
that
TQR
was...
actually win this map.
That switch from Aztec to Maul really paid off there.
Yeah, Aztec was using the mole last tournament and putting in work with it, so I'm not surprised that he switched back to it here.
It's really weird seeing like so many moles. I think I've seen a mole every game now. Which
I think that was actually like a really strong pick. Yeah,
I
like,
guess-
Kills in 2 rounds.
especially if the teams aren't like I guess like fully formed and they don't have like a like a cohesive 5-man.
Yeah.
I guess Mo, yeah, it does make a lot of sense. But I'm just surprised I haven't seen like more evening styles or stuff like that.
So, this is going to be fun to watch as a deciding round.
Yeah, third map.
Yeah, camp's a weird map. Usually we just see people taking the fight up on the hill. I don't know if there's anything different here. They might just fight in the middle. Looks like it's going to be a fight in the middle. But I like what SPQR is doing here. They're making them come through the choke. That though, he flanks round, gets the first kill. Oh, MP3 with another team kill.
Oh, he's got a few more people this time, Aztec, but he seems to be to it.
Aztec with the double. Oh. Yeah, Aztec and the shield working together pretty well there in the corner.
He's
Aztec's just
regenning
allowed
up.
to switch all he wants, while the shield just kind of protects both of them.
Certainly. To victory! Dodge this, you
Looks like we do have an evening star coming up now from Studio.
To victory!
Still fairly standard looking weapon picks though.
Bit of a flank around from SG here.
Yeah, they kind of... But I don't think they want to go through the choke.
They're focusing Aztec a bit here. It's not able to do much.
I think
So it goes the way of SG.
the one thing that's I'd say that's quite different is that I guess because the teams aren't as well organized overall, a lot of these fights where it's like, you know, like a 2v3 or something like that, they don't seem as decisive as I'm used to at least. It looks like kind of just anything can happen in the 2v3s, whereas I'd say in at least NA and EU, not as much is the case.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes you just see people like going in before waiting for their teammate.
A lot of people just missing here, fighting in the middle. Again, that's the problem with playing ball.
Oh, no, I hate to see it.
Oh, I wasn't sure what hit him.
This, you bastard! Oh.
It's what we call the elite target switch in AE.
Attack!
Switch onto your teammate.
I like that name.
Forward! Impossible.
SPQR trying to bait them into the choke again, but I think that is this that? No, it's Studio going round. Dad going down instantly, he had 3 halberds attacking him. Corpse as well went straight down as soon as Dad down. Rogi triple kill this round.
Taken out.
Yeah, there they kind of just SPQR just found like one guy at the start of the fight. He got stabbed like 3 times by 3 different halberds, and he just went down. And then the rest of SG just went down afterwards. Numbers game. SG kind of going up the hill now, trying to bait SPQR into the choke, but SPQR's not having it. They're just gonna hold. Yeah, the SPQR spears and halberds, they're just kind of waiting, baiting people in, letting them overextend, and then just instantly killing them. They actually seem pretty coordinated on this map.
Yeah, I think this is where the team coordination seems to be coming into play here. SG not really knowing what to do when it's like a 5v5 engagement. They can't immediately jump on them and take someone out with.
I think we might just see SG just stop going in, like just kind of like waiting, doing what SPQR do.
Looks like they're holding the
Yeah.
arena in the middle.
SG have a shield now. Gotta go and kite and short spear.
Looks like no one just wants to go through the choke. Actually, the shields come
Yeah.
through. They're slowly pushing
Let them
through.
come through there.
Oh, actually using Assassin on shield now though.
Wow. SPQR just getting 3 kills within basically an instant.
Wow, this is gone much more SPQR's way. The last round was pretty close.
The last 2 games were very even. I just think SPQR are actually coordinating really well on this map. SG just coming around the side now. This is a really bad fight. Kind of just started this fight completely outnumbered.
Oh, Aztec takes out on a 1v1 versus Assassin.
One 1v1 with Spear against Studio. And a 1v2 Aztec against Studio.
Almost.
That's 2v3. Oh,
Yeah.
Apparently it is.
Oh, that's the throw.
that is an unnecessary risk in my opinion from Aztec there, just throwing them all.
There's still a bit of chaos even in the top players, it seems.
I definitely think the MVP for SPQR is Aztec. And for SG, I'd say it's probably Ass-Eating Assassin. Having a lot of rounds where he just instantly gets 3 kills. But he's kind of struggling here because he has to come through the choke. And they don't really have a lot of space.
He's been switching through weapons quite a bit on this map. I'm not sure shield suits him as much as, you know, his Y-hand and more long range.
Yeah, putting in a lot more work, that's why.
Yep.
Great sword now, but what's
This fight also going the way of SPQR.
He's against Aztec now. Aztec took him out before in a 1v1 and looks like he'll do it again.
And yeah, we went from like a 7-4 and like a 7-6 to a 7-1. I think
very well
SPQR
played
played
from both
extremely well in
teams.
camp. So next game we have Goonsack Warriors on red and St. Genesis on blue.
So, Goonsack Warriors are kind of a team that was thrown together for the tourney as well, I think. It's kind of made up of some people who used to be in a couple of clans, and they kind of like merged a little bit, or made a new team for this tournament. Meat and Nervous. No, sorry, Meat and Jats are actually old Jiv players who played back in 2014, 2015 and kind of quit. And now they've come back from Mordhau, which is quite interesting, so we'll see how they do.
Okay, well this fight started really weird, but like a lot of the red team players haven't even really like got into the fight. But actually it looks like they might just, yeah, they're just going to take the fight. Just clean sweep.
Is any players on Goonsack Warriors angles that good?
I actually haven't seen. So I was talking about Meat and Jets being Shiv players, but I haven't actually seen them play Mordhau. But Safeway Bandit is definitely a standout player. Used to be in the White Stallion Company team. We're one of the better teams. He's left them for this team now. He generally plays Spear, Safeway Bandit. He's just a very solid player. So at the moment.
Goonsack Warriors are
That's why.
honestly playing really well so far. Like both rounds have been pretty much all in their favor.
Yeah,
Safeway
so
Bandit on
Safeway,
6 kills
6-0.
already in 2 rounds. SG are kind of...
Oh, Safeway Bandit gets taken out by a Mesa on Forks. This fight looks a bit closer than the others.
Yeah, the way SG are like starting these fights now, again it's kind of like contraband on the last set. It's just kind of like, they're just running in and they have like some guys left behind. And they've got like spears who are just getting stuck in 1v1s, which is just the worst place you could have your spear to be. So we have 3 going through the middle now, 2 on the right side.
Got 2 spears coming out of the SG.
2 kills from SG. This one might go the way of SG.
Yeah, these spears are putting a lot of damage this round.
SG, I would